to all my people out there that's giving me love, and I do appreciate the love, because it's not nothing without great love, you know what I mean. Please hit that like button, continue them subscriptions, and I appreciate y'all. And thank you guys. Thank you to all my listeners. Thank you to all my followers. Thank you to my audience. Because again, this is what I'm trying to attain, and it's slowly but surely going north. It is slowly but surely going north. Because it was down south for a long time, but it's slowly but surely going north. I could not attain this. I cannot do this without you guys. Thank you for viewing me, your viewership. Thank you for the positive comments. Thank you for the negative comments, because I am not perfect. I'm just being opinionated. And I take my negative comments just as much as I take my positive comments. Matter of fact, I am happy with my negative comments, because what that's telling me, I believe no matter how good you is, you always have room to grow. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Today, I'm going to speak on an interesting topic that I was out and about, rolling in my car, driving, and it came across, or somebody texted me this, and it was very, very interesting. And I'm like, that's something I like to dive off or delve off into. I want to discuss, would you let pride get in the way of an opportunity? Let me say this again. Would you let pride get in the way of an opportunity? Yes. I'm going to put it to you like this, and I have seen many people, yes. Pride can definitely get in the way of an opportunity. When pride becomes excessive or leads to a sense of superiority, it can hinder growth, damage relationships, and cause individuals to miss out on valuable chances. For instance, pride might prevent someone from admitting mistakes, apologizing, or seeking help, all of which are crucial for personal and professional development. Exactly. That one right there hit it on the nail. And I'm going to go from personal experience. I know this nice young lady, and it's this corrective criticism, because we all can get criticized, including me. But we have seen it, not only me, but the masses have seen it. She has a great group of people. She is a boss. She runs a certain type of business. She works for a company, and she's the head boss. She's the lead woman. I'm not going to even say lead man. She's the lead woman, or you want to say she's the lead person. And when her and her crew or committee are focused, dialed in, they are productive. Their productivity is second to none. I mean, they be putting them orders out. I mean, they be on their game. They be on it. I'm talking about great. But this is the problem that she has, and she has grown a lot, but it shouldn't really be no problem, because as I have said, and as I think, see, what makes you a great leader is not just when you can lead people, person, a few, a crowd, or many. It's when you make mistakes and you admit your mistakes, because we are not the man upstairs. We are not God. We are not Almighty. We are not the one that blesses us to raise and rise every morning. We're not Him. Saying that, you can have productivity. You can have an output of 95 to 99%. But no matter how great you is, somebody is going to slip up, and it happens maybe any one or two times. That's okay. But as one of my great bosses that I work for, he used to always say, when somebody has messed up, when I have messed up, Nino, when you mess up, we're not going to sit here and gossip about it. We're going to fix it. We don't have time to keep be pointing fingers like he, she, or she did, or okay this and okay that. And we're not going to be here crying about the problem. We're going to find a solution and hurry up and fix it. But this particular person I'm talking about, she will throw you under the bus. And it is straight, point blank, known, seen, proven by technology, by when the time the orders went in, by when the time that the order should have been done, that it was her fault. Because when you're a leader a lot of times and you run a crew and you run a group, especially at a warehouse, you have to have the final say, the final call. You have to sign the final. You have to submit the final piece of it. So saying that, it's on her. But it's cool. But don't throw nobody else under the bus when everybody else has did the following and followed the rules and completed the task at hand when they know that you was the one that made the mistake, but you just don't want to admit it. And it always just kind of like put a burden on everybody, because we all know we make mistakes. And I know it's tough to admit that you make a mistake, because people in this cold, hard world want to try to lead a world of perfection. They just want to lead a world of perfection. As much as you seek perfection, you're not going to be perfection. It's just not in you. And I don't care how great you is, you're not just going to be perfection. The greatest athletes, they lost. You know? The greatest philosophers, whatever, they never could come up with a solution sometimes. The greatest teachers, okay, what they had you doing and the homework or what they had you studying, it was found one teacher had you studying something, but another teacher had you studying something that was a little bit greater. It's okay to fail, what I'm trying to say, but just admit your mistakes. Be accountable. Stand strong. That's how we can fix the problem. Don't throw everybody under the bus, or don't throw anybody under the bus, especially when it's known that you made the mistake. Don't do that. Don't do that. Pride can be a barrier. Missed opportunities. Pride can lead to a belief that one is already at the top, preventing individuals from seeking new experiences or learning opportunity. Pride can kill you. Why you think, and it's sad to say, and I'm going to bring this not even about a job. Why you think so many people are incarcerated? Or why you think so many people are going down a road of negativity? But I'm going to go back to the incarcerated, because and I know you would think, okay, well, just standing up for minds, but pride has materialized so many times that it will get people in trouble, because when you can see something is fuming and something is developing, far as finna be a battle or a struggle or a confrontation or something that can get people in trouble. A lot of time, you know, they say it takes two to get people in trouble. They say it takes two to start anything. It takes two to fight. A lot of time, all it takes is somebody just say, no, I'm going to let that alone, I'm going to let that go. But see, the pride gets them because they don't want to be seen as cowardice or bag down, or I got yellow fever, or I'm not a man standing on all 10 toes, standing firm down. And I get it with the pride, but the pride also has you incarcerated, has you in trouble. Pride also makes a person has a balloon head. And what a balloon head is cocky and confidence. Is this what it says? A balloon head is somebody with a head this big. They think they're all that. They know more than anybody. They're holier than thou, if you want to get religious. They're greater than the great, slicker than the slick, smarter than the smart. But nobody knows everything. Nobody knows everything. People who are prideful, and it's time to be prideful, but people that are prideful miss out on their own chance a lot of time, because the prideful does turn into ignorance. My meaning, if you think you know, remember, somebody that's trying to give you a chance, you should be willing to listen and learn from them. You don't know everything. It befuddles me how somebody can give you an opportunity in this certain field or this certain chance. They present it to you, but when they present it to you, you got so much pride, you telling them more, or you got all the answers and they haven't said nothing, yet they bringing the pride, the chance to you. You know everything. And they haven't uttered a word yet. They have uttered a few words, but once you hear what they said, you already telling them this and that, and you're off key. They look at you like, this female, this male, this person, they lost. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. That's pride. Pride to have you not listening. Pride to have you not listening. Pride to have you this, okay, it's going to be my way. But it's not your way. And it's not the right way. Stagnation, feedback, or new ideas, hindering their ability to evolve and adapt. Well, they're at a stalemate because they think they know everything. They're not willing to learn nothing new. Great people. You think Michael Jordan didn't watch Julius Erving and many predecessors before him how to play basketball, David Thompson, how to hang in the air, how to walk in the air? You think Michael Jordan didn't steal some of their formula, steal some of their tricks? We know what the late, great Kobe Bryant mimicked Michael Jordan. Greatness steals, watch, learns from greatness. Sit back and adapt from greatness. Greatness has adaptation from greatness. That's how they get great. You think Magic Johnson didn't watch the big old Oscar Robertson? You know, you think Ice Cube didn't watch Chuck D? You think KRS-One didn't teach a lot of rappers after him? You think, I mean, come on, man. Great people learn from people who killed the field before them. That's how you learn it. See, you learn, you watch, and you put it in. I'm talking about greatness, and you mix it up, and then you add your little flavor to it. That's what makes you great. That's what makes you solid. You can't be great and think you know everything. I haven't seen a great person yet that hasn't took a little bit from somebody in a certain field or do things similar to a certain person in that certain field which they great in. I haven't seen that. Greatness, again, picks up from greatness. It learns from greatness. That's how you evolve. But a lot of people don't want to evolve because they in a stalemate. They stagnation. They got so much pride, you can't tell them nothing. What's they saying? Their head is harder than Acme brick. And that's what it is. A hard head makes a soft rear. And we know that for a fact. And that's going to go on back from people before my time, my mother's time. That's going to go up to the millenniums now. A hard head makes a soft rear. Damage to relationships. Excessive pride can manifest as arrogance or superiority, pushing others away and isolating them individuals. But see, nobody wants, again, somebody too cocky and arrogant. It's cool to be confident, but don't be cocky and arrogant. And I have seen cocky and arrogance displayed, laid out. But one big time, when it was time for them to shine, and their usual would come up and handle the business or be solid or win, they was embarrassed. The arrogance failed them. And they was embarrassed to where they lost all self-confidence. See, self-confidence, yes. Arrogance, no, I don't have too much arrogance. Why you need to be arrogant? Nobody likes arrogance. Again, like I said, nobody likes a balloon head. Nobody likes nobody that you can't never tell nothing. But they can tell you everything. They got all the answers. Because we're all, again, created equal. And we all can learn something from each other. We don't need one person in a group of people always, well, you do this, you do this. Answer this, answer that. I told you this, I told you that. No, your way, only my way. Nah, that's not going to get it. Because I know me, myself, and I believe other people, I'm picking me myself. I'm not saying I'm the smartest cookie in the world, but I'm dang sure ain't the dumbest cookie in the world. And I'd rather fail on my own than have an arrogant, pompous, sucker, somebody, I'm not going to even say a sucker, arrogant, pompous person just always just think they know everything, that they pride getting in the way of everything, and, you know, this knocks off anything beneficial. Pride sure can be taken when you're trying to obtain money or things like that. Again, another instance. Job at your job, your superiors offering you and another person or another few people a raise. Okay, now come with the raise, it's going to be a little bit more work. You know, hard work. Now, it might even take relocating. But the one person took it. But I'm not going to lie, the person that they really was favoring, that the superiors was looking at in their eyes they didn't take it. Because they didn't want to do the extra little work. It was nothing illegal. It was nothing really hard work. You would just clean up a few minutes after the shift was over with. It was relocating, you know. Maybe you was at this one location at this job site, but now we want to send you a little job site of one of our companies, maybe 15 miles outside where you was working at. But they was going to give you a nice raise and bonus. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. One person took it. They didn't want to take it. Now she's living, having a ball over time. And the crazy thing about it is, peeps, this was one male and one female. They wanted the male, but the female took it. Because the male had too much pride. He want to get the raise, get the bonus, but then he wanted to call his own shots. He wanted to say, no, I'm going to stay here. Why you moving me? I'm not going to clean up after, we done. I'm not going to clean up after the line shut down. When the horn blows and it shift in, it's time for me to get up out of here. You can't do that. That's too much pride. See, that's pride right there. That's pride. And I get it. You've been here a little bit longer than the female. But sometimes seniority plays a big role in things. And then sometimes seniority don't. Because they say in years how we headed with the AI and everything else. Manpower on jobs, people power, women power on jobs are going to be futile to none. So, you was out an opportunity, take it. You could have cleaned up after that line shut down a little bit in 15 minutes, got on that freeway, get to the house. The bonus and the raise is going to be enough, but you're going to have enough, money to put in your gas tank. It's coming a little bit further, but you roll around in your car anyway. But again, pride. A lot of pride. Reduced learning. Pride can make it difficult to admit mistakes. Seek guidance. Preventing a valuable learning expression. A learning experience. Yeah. As I said earlier. Great young lady. Throw you on the bus. Will sit there knowing that you got a sufficient amount of product supposed to be going out. You know the product, let's say, supposed to be wrapped, supposed to be shipped, supposed to be received a certain way. Okay, so this because she has maybe somebody younger that's her superior, she got an attitude about that. She'll rather do it her way, screw up everything, and not only screw up everything, but mess it up bad for everybody. Because not only does it mess up money in her pocket, it messes up money in her line pocket, in her people that's on her line, in her department pocket of purse. Also, it kills the money, the gross money in the company. Just because she has a younger superior, she won't. All she has to do is just say, "How can I do this better? Let me go do this or whatever." In fact, and then they eventually get it together, and when mistakes made, somebody eventually steps in and gets back on track. But it took time. Well, she should have just been enough professional and say, "Hey, come here for a second. Talking to a younger superior. How can I do this at a better, more, efficient rate? I'm having a little problem with this. I messed up. This little old quota, these few little old shipments I have to get out, they were a little bit too overbearing. Could I get some help at it?" That's all you have to do. One thing I know about your job and your superiors, one thing I know about anything, people don't mind you asking help. I was told even one time, I'd rather you ask me 100 times how to do something, even if I told you that, then don't ask me nothing. I'd rather you ask me 100 times how to do something that I done told you again and again to get it right, rather than don't ask me and it's done wrong, and now we got a big problem. Everything is behind. Everything is running just straight up. Everything is just disorganized. It's not only going to put us a day behind, it can put us a week behind. And we all know one thing, peeps. Time is what? Time is what? Time is what? Time is money. Overconfidence. Pride can lead to overconfidence, making individuals receptive to constructive criticism or willing to take challenges. See, I used to be like that when I was young. I used to hate when people would get on me. And this is a lot of what my growth has came about. I used to hate when people get on me because I had put so much pressure on. I got pride and I know what I'm doing. Who, me, Nino? I don't mess up at nothing. I can't be told nothing. Whether it's work, out here in the everyday world, kicking it with your homeboys, out on a date with a lady, with your kids, with your grandchildren. I had to learn. I can remember one time that this is my pride. And my grandson, I love him to the death. And if he watch this podcast, he gonna like, my papa was something else. We was at Taco Bell. So it's busy at Taco Bell. So we used to like them chicken enchiladas. So they was at the dollar value. So we were like, I would like to go order 4 or 5 from him and 4 or 5 for me. Okay, now, it was crowded in there, so we had to sit for a minute. I'm impatient anyway. That is a big drawback with me. I'm working on that now. I'm getting better, but I still haven't passed the final exam as far as not being patient more and being impatient. But anyway, cut to the chase, make a long story short, I got kind of deterred and got kind of hot and went up to the counter and said, hey, what's taking our order so long? I see people coming in here and they getting their order. My grandson came, pulled me to the side and told me, Papa, calm down. It ain't that bad. Papa, calm down. It ain't that bad. He's 10 now. He was about 18. And you know, I had to sit down and think about that. And he was right. He was right. My point is, anybody can tell anybody something of importance, of factual youth, of how to diffuse a situation. It doesn't make a difference, age or nothing like that. Because see, my pride was getting to me because I'm thinking, I know everything, you know, why are you holding us back? And he's like, Papa, it's not a big deal. Just let it alone. Just let it alone. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Just let it alone. Great study, great study. So that's what I was just going to chime in a little bit about that. But yes, as I say, people, would you let your pride get in the way of your opportunity? I think so, but a lot of people won't. Why do you think a lot of people have missed out on money? Why do you think a lot of people, unfortunately, are 6 feet deep, are unalive? Why do you think a lot of times, a lot of people are in situations that they don't understand what they are in? Because they let their pride get in the way of them. See, pride is a dude that come knocking, and he can come from nowhere. He right there with you, but he can come knocking at the most inopportune time. You can be on the cusp again. You can be on the cusp again, or possibly doing something of great prominence and even a great investment. But that pride will get to you. Pride can get to you with dealing with a woman. Pride can get to you with dealing with money. Pride can get to you with dealing with your job. Pride is something that will make their presence known. And don't get me wrong, pride can be good for you too, though. Because when it's time to stand up, pride can be great. See, pride can be good and bad. But we were just discussing, would you let pride get in the way of an opportunity? Me speaking, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to say, give me a few minutes. Maybe give me a day. If it's not nothing, I got to make a hasty decision right there and there. But even if I got to think about it, make a decision right then and there, can I take about 5-10 minutes? Let me sit down and reassess everything. Sometimes you don't get a second chance to be great. Sometimes you got to sit down and reassess. Would you let pride get in the way of your opportunity? Yes, but then I think it can be no too. You're kind of juggling both of them. 2 pennies, 2 cents, my podcast. I'm Nino. Thank you.